If you're a proper Pi miner, I'm very certain that you know that the present price of Pi does not indicate what the actual price of Pi should be. There have been various rumors, and even those of us know that there have been price manipulations from the big guns in the market, especially knowing that this Pi price had gone as high as number 14th best crypto in the world, and now it has dropped to number 35 best crypto in the world. But something happened today when I was doing my research, further research on Pi, which will be of interest to you. There is another company that is coming up with their own crypto, and then in order to gain virality, they had to use Pi in the mix, and what they disclosed about Pi is incredible. Here is the platform, Black Times. He said Pi Network is one of the most popular crypto projects globally with millions of fans. His goal is to become a better version of Bitcoin, one that is easy to mine and has a working utility. Simple. You see, for most of us that are mining, if you are getting tired of Pi or you are thinking, is this something I should stay on for a longer time? Yes, it is something you should stay on. The more I research, and by the way, if you know me from the onset, I always keep both parts of my books open. Why? I don't want to run into something thinking it's going to be good and then it ends up becoming bad. So I do due diligence with open-mindedness. So if something is going to go wrong, because I'm open, I'll catch it. I'm not just a fan. I'm a fan with some brains. So you see here, if a competitor knows what Pi is meant to do, better version of Bitcoin, easy to mine, which they have achieved. By the way, Pi was one of the very first platform that created mining from a phone. It's a landmark technology that they developed. So put that in the bag. Don't forget about that. It's a major thing in the crypto world. And secondly, they want to have working utility, which every single day they've been working on. I'll show to you one thing they have added again. Pi had done something incredible. It's just one very simple thing, but it's enormously enormous. But here I says, Pi was developed over 6 years as pioneers spent countless hours accumulating its tokens. Their goal was to redeem these tokens for fiat currency after the mainnet launch. Did they do it? Yes. You know, most people now that are just joining, they might be thinking, are you certain? Are you certain? Yes, we are certain. If Pi had existed for 6 years and everything they said they were going to do into the last letter they did, why on earth will you think that now they won't proceed to acquire what other things they've said? And look at this. Pi Network price initially surged after the mainnet launch, as the narrative was that it was a better version of Bitcoin. It then plunged to a record low as many pioneers sold and exchange listings remained astray. So now, if you are following this competitor, two things they said here: many pioneers sold, immediately they hit the market, and exchange listings remain astray, meaning Pi could not be listed on the big guns like Binance and Coinbase and all of these big platforms. Okay, now we know what the problem is based on what has been said here. Remember, don't forget, Pi wants to be a better version of Bitcoin in the fact that you don't need heavy equipment like desktop and heavy artillery to mine. That has been done. And then for it to have utility, it's on board. But the two main problem is people are selling. Now today, to tell you that when people sell, the pressure comes to the market. Pi as at today is $0.41. It had gone down just by a little fraction of what it was yesterday. Of course, this is why I have interest in Pi, simply because it will rally back up after. You see, that initial pressure when people are selling, for those that had been opened up to mainnet and have transferred their tokens, of course, if you have waited for 6 years and then you have access to maybe $1,000, it's not bad if you remove part of it, you know, to feed and all of that, which is incredible. But the fact that Pi can still hold on after all the pressure every single month, of course, that's how I know that Pi is incredible. And if you see today, the market cap is still at 3.21 billion, which is a fractionally increase from yesterday. And then the volume is 72 million, almost around the same range of yesterday's trading. So people that are still trading Pi, they are still trading their Pi. $70 million is a lot. And then all of this is already happening when there is pressure in the market and the coin is still holding on. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I like these referrals from this particular company. And then they went on and said the token has plunged as the network has not lived to its expectations. Yes, this is expected if you are building something new. It's not overly unexpected. For instance, despite promising of an active ecosystem of at least 100 apps during the mainnet launch, only a few has gone mainstream, leaving it often described as a ghost chain. Yes, this is also true, although they are throwing jabs to Pi, but it's true. If you think you're going to do 100 apps and then few had gone, you see, the fact that few had gone means others will follow. If you have done nothing, that would have been a problem, yes. But now they have done a little, they just have to follow the same process and things will be done. And look at this. It's saying Pi Network has not achieved any new Tier 1 exchange listings for 5 months after the mainnet. Yes. At the same time, the team's effort to create value, including the launch of the venture fund, you remember that, AI Studio, yes, staking, has not been received well. In other words, these three has been received, but not as well, because everybody thinks that once you have about 65 million followers, and I mean miners, that once you just bring up any utility or whatever app you bring, boom, everybody should just run towards it. That's not really true, because everybody is trying to make money. And we are not just going to run towards whatever you do. It will take some time. Remember, it takes time to change. We're in the era of AI. Not everybody is really using AI. Till tomorrow, I still Google. I go to Google to type things. Till tomorrow, I still go to YouTube to type things. You see, and there is AI that could have probably given me an answer faster. But as you know, human beings are very difficult to change. We don't really change like that because we just love what we love. And of course, it's a good value for me if competitors and somebody who's in your position can say good things about you and actually see what you're doing. You know, to create vision that everybody can see is not really easy. And then the Pi Network has done it. And you see here, Pi Network price has also tumbled as investors react to the ongoing token unlocks and its centralization. It unlocks millions of tokens a month, whereas the obscure Pi Foundation controls billions of tokens and remain unaudited. I'm going to look more into this because this is a huge claim that the Pi Foundation control billions. I know of that because, you know, if you check up on the real app, in truth, the circulating supply is still about 7.7 billion and the maximum supply is 100 billion. So some are still hidden somewhere that are not yet mined. But of course, this is not bad from an opposition. And how do I know this? If I scroll down, look at it. Can Bitcoin penguins be the next big thing? You see that? The article that has gone viral is from Bitcoin penguins. They are trying to say, if Pi has not delivered on this, we can. But they gave us every good thing that Pi has been doing. Which takes me to this next point. Pi Network had the third fiat option for Picoin purchase despite on-ramp money challenges. Because here now, if you can buy Pi directly from your bank using your fiat money, that is incredible. I remember I made a video about this about 3 days ago. In a fresh update on the Pi Network wallet, TransFi had been added as a new on-ramp, sitting alongside existing partners like Banza, on-ramp money, where users noticed that the new fiat option shortly after on-ramp money confirmed Pi purchases would not be available till August. We are almost there. With TransFi, pioneers can now purchase the token using popular payment methods like credit card, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. And you can see it here, just like we have Banza that is recommended, we have TransFi, you can buy Pi directly. Let me tell you, this is going to influence most of the things that goes on here. Because if all these big jagabans like Binance, they are not ready to list. You see, we have been making rumors they're going to list, but they are not listing yet. And most people don't have access to Pi. That's the simple truth. Because if you want to buy on BitGet, for example, you have to first of all fund your BitGet before you can now go and buy Pi from using BitGet. BitGet is an exchange platform and it's not even popular. So imagine if anybody who wants to buy Pi can just buy from the Pi app itself. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Pi has 65 million miners on their own app. You are now going to sell what you are 65 million on an app that has about maybe 2 million or 1 million users. Does that even make sense? But you don't have a choice because you do not have that ability directly on your app unless you now take it to an exchange. And the reason why you need a bigger exchange is if Binance, for example, has about 25 million users every month, and then you take Pi there, let's say even 10% of that buys, 2.5 million would have added billions to your market cap and your trading volume, which means it will let the price go up because a lot of people are going to be trading, buying and selling. But here, you see where the mistake is, where every single person cannot access because they are on BitGet that has just about nothing really. So that's why I like this. Now they are introducing different products where you can buy directly Pi in from the app. because this is directly from the app. You can buy Pi and trade with it and keep some, and that will increase the volume. And that's why till now you can see that the trading volume is not bad compared to the fact that the market is under pressure. And here you see previously Pi network users frequently had to deal with risky and complicated processes like peer-to-peer trades, which is what happens in most cases, like even on BitGet, because you have to now buy from somebody that would sell to you before you can have access. Sometimes they can steal your money. Transfer of exchanges, yes, and close minutes transfers. Users can buy Pi in a single simplified steps thanks to the integration of its on-ramp capabilities. With this now, everybody can buy. And Transfer brings impressive global coverage to Pi's payment infrastructure. It supports Fiat purchases in over 85 markets and enables transaction through more than 250 payment methods, including open banking and real-time network. This means that more pioneers in Asia, in Europe, and other areas can buy Pi coin easily without needing complicated steps. That's why this is very nice. One standout example is in the Philippines, where Transfer now allows Pi purchases directly from local payment app GCash, meaning you can even buy from the app that everybody knows. These are things I see from Pi that makes me know that they are really working behind the scene to make sure that, one, utility is set up, and also two, that the value increases. For some of us that are just miners, our interest is majorly on price. These activities are going to make the price soar. All I have to say is what I've been saying over and over. If you have free money that you are not using, buy some Pi and keep, because when it rises, it's going to give you what we call generational wealth, more than whatever you can invest this money on. Okay. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.